see the day. We'll see the day when all of our problems they fade away. Mm, 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 two things in this life that are sure, that I'm sure, mm, only two things in this life that are sure. Two things in this life that are sure. That I'm.
Get the fuck up. Get the fuck up. I'm dead, bro.
I got you.
Don't worry too much about it.
Yeah.
He's looking at you.
In
Fuck.
my
That was clutch as fuck.
sins,
Repost, yes. Good shit.
found ya.
Did I have a sliver of health and no heals?
This is not cash.
Two things.
Brother. I don't
I'm
even know what to do.
sure.
Look out! Jay, you're last. Oh, he's about to do some shit. It's gonna hurt real bad if you get hit by it. Oh my gosh.
Texas.
Bro, how are we? How is this winnable?
I don't know.
Death end. Texas.
Not good. Not good.
Oh no, our teammate.
No, Riddle. Riddle. He's just gonna have to 1v1, bro. No shot.
No. He's almost dead. No. He's dead. What? I had that thing to rise from defeat.
Don't
Bro, I'm pissed.
kill
I had that
me.
item. Rise from
Just
defeat a single
help
time.
me run
I thought
away
it was.
from
What happened to that?
everyone.
I don't know.
I need a place to stay
Dang.
where I can cover up
We need
my
a third.
face.
What the fuck is Vonley doing?
Don't cry. I am. I
Keenan.
am. What up, Pan Pan?
Hey, if I get you this, you play with us?
I think I've received enough, to be honest.
How
I don't
fast
know.
is internet?
Yeah. Here you go, AJ.
Fuck. Shit's fun. We need a third. Even more fun with a third.
Head is filled with parasites. Holes
Hold on, I'll be right back.
cover up my
What time
eyes.
does Jay get home?
I dream almost
I don't know if
every
really have time
night.
for it,
Let's just play one more real quick.
Fully.
let me check.
This time I won't wake up this time.
I can play one more.
I won't wake up this time.
I think we might get it
Won't
this time.
wake up this time.
We got to be good about killing those bosses and shit. Like that's got to be top priority. It's just raping everything. Hopefully we get a good third. That really makes a big difference too. He wasn't bad. Our teammate really wasn't bad. That one teammate we had our first game was so good, and you threw it.
Dude, I didn't know how to fucking play, and fucking I didn't know that this game was literally unplayable on mouse and key. It is though. Like, this shit was retarded.
That currency in the bottom right is for like bartering.
Is it? What can you get?
I don't know. How much do you have?
2,000.
Same.
Oh, we have relics. Did you go to the relic right?
Oh, fuck. I will next time.
Yeah. Are you gonna be on later tonight? You should, bro.
Poison.
Yeah, probably.
Good.
Poison filled
I like our character
with
setups, too.
poison. Fill my veins with poison.
I like my iron eye, dude.
Poison
I
filled
like this
with
dude.
poison.
Shawty built a nice, quaint little nest. Alright.
Oh,
You wanna land at this church, or where you trying to go?
yeah, we go there. Like level up, and then.
Oh shit. It's okay, I can jump up this. Y'all go.
Yeah, if we level up at that church, then there's like an Evergoal right below us.
Bet.
Bro, I had a stone sword key that whole game. I don't know what to use it on. I forgot I don't start off with a sword. Oh, it's the golem.
Yeah, it is. Fucked him up. He gave us great loot last time.
What the fuck is our teammate doing?
Being retarded. How is he not reposted yet? Ow. OS. Forked great sword. I like that.
Give me a run for my money. Money all around me.
I'm back.
Money.
There's like a chest over here or something.
So lovely. Lovely.
Where's the next place we go to?
Just
Oh, yeah, there's the Evergoal right below us.
love me.
We need to go
I'm
there.
going you.
I wanna be with you.
Go to
Ay.
Anthem.
I wanna be with.
I'll bet.
I wanna be with you. I wanna be with you.
Oh shit.
If If I
Sleep Brigade,
Holy fuck, dude! What the fuck?
Ow.
Yeah.
Keep it a whole one, don't got you, got nothing.
Bulldog.
Ay, I got
Oh my God.
something. Ay.
What? That didn't get you?
Function, no assumptions.
Is that my level 2?
Want it? Yeah.
Ah.
No one around me. Money.
Shit,
Sipping
boys.
bubbly, feeling lovely. Living lovely. Just love me. I wanna be with you.
Rune of
Hey,
Hell
I
yeah, I
wanna
want
be
that.
with. I wanna be with
Yeah,
you.
Stone Sword.
Love me. I'm gonna be with
Yeah, where do we
you.
go now? Oh, he's going in this fucking cave.
Way. We ain't got no time to waste. Way. Way.
Today my weapon's a fork.
I'm on the way. I know connection is vague. Pick up the phone for me, babe. Remember Gardena.
There's hella smithing stones in
Studio
this place.
camera. I know top down. I had to do it. I want your body, your music. On the way, I'm like an extra the way. Yeah. Na 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 na. My mind away. Na 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 na. You trust me, then you love me. Keep it a
They're
how
fucking me up.
got nothing.
What? I use my passive ability. Fuck. I'm pissed.
Money. Sipping bubbly, feeling lovely. Yeah. Feeling lovely.
Or I use my ability on some
Just
dumb shit.
love me.
My passive
I
ability.
wanna be with you. Hey,
What do you
I
mean?
wanna be with.
Eats death a
I
single
wanna
time.
be with. Love
You get it
me.
back, don't you?
I wanna be with you. Dun 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 dun. Hey, psycho war at the mental. I'm a don. Yeah, yeah.
No, no.
In my run. Yeah. Not them zenny, so I'm calm. Like in my lungs.
Yep,
I'm a
I found the
killer's
elevator.
killer.
I bet.
Sicker.
How the fuck
Full
do you
of liquor, codeine drinker.
in this
End up
video?
my liver. Pull the trigger, up the thriller to the highest bidder.
You ain't tripping.
Ooh la la, what's the vibe, boy? AK boom,
Maybe
but
it needs all
they
3 of us.
tune lies just because.
Could be the case.
Say nah, I'm on fire.
Or maybe that someone turned his path.
Get 'em.
Yeah, never mind.
She gon' got my tatted on her thigh. Realest mother from the fire. Every middle last supper when you got
ain't nothing in here, man.
Send me the an Addy and I'll see y'all in a second. Keys to the Fleetwood Caddy, push to start the 911. Drive it crazy and they always try to dead me, try to stab me. It's
I don't know where to go.
like a baby, hit me all you want, better watch your back, I never front. You want problems when I got the bunch, change and accept the chunk. Knocked the out of boy trust. Snort a 30 off the 40, let it bust.
Yes,
Give
your
me
ass.
bread,
Yeah,
watch how
man.
quick I start to duck. Wow. In my cup. All this fuss. Rush.
What is this?
My,
Is that where we went in at?
you're that guy.
Oh, there's like a
You're
big
that
spider
guy
there. I
who
think it's a
wanna
boss.
die. What's your side? She a 9 personality borderline. She tried to stand me up, but
Let's go. I'm getting fucked right now. God damn.
Yeah, holy fuck. Alright, let's see if I can keep you from losing shit.
Hey, the Valeros, I should quit smoking. Hey,
Oh, I guess not.
I
I guess we both get fucked.
What the
fuck.
fuck?
Permanent damage. I think I know.
Our teammates
I'm
just
serving this.
wrong.
Permanent damage. I think I'm serving it. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Thinking I'm serving and standing. On the ways I'm riding on.
I'm going back for my fucking.
On the ways I'm riding, don't change
Kill
on.
him too.
Not like niggas saying, alright, I
Damn, he hit
see
so hard.
out of it the dream I had about her in my head. I won't forget.
Bro, what the fuck?
Where's our teammate?
This shit is so fucking annoying with two people.
He's about to do his bullshit.
Bro, again?
For real.
Bro, what the fuck?
I need a whole lot of
You
help.
see that?
Yeah.
He's spamming it. Just jump up real high like I'm doing and then fucking grand slam his ass.
Had no idea the dreams had were far too big.
Fuck. What the fuck? Look out. Oh my god. What is our teammate doing?
Finally, fuck.
Perfect memories scattered all around the floor.
Oh my god, the
For the phone, 'cause I can't fight it anymore.
Well, this is all for naught.
And I wonder if I
Bro, focus.
ever crossed your mind. For
Bruh.
me, it happens all the time.
There's a fucking storm.
After one, alone and I need you
There goes all
now.
my roots. How are we ever gonna come back from this?
We're not.
Lost all control and I need you now.
Technically, we could.
How?
Know how I can without.
Start kicking ass.
I just need you now.
I'm level 3, bro.
Oh my
We
god.
ain't beating this boss.
Another
Level
shot
4.
of whiskey.
I'm level 3.
Can't stop looking at the door.
Motherfucker's fighting a draconic tree sentinel. It's
Mm,
storm on our ass. Hold on, is that the boss?
You come sweeping in the way you did before.
Yeah, he's getting left
Wait.
for dead.
Is it?
And
No,
I
there's no way.
wonder if I ever crossed your mind. Happens all the time.
I'm at the Erd tree.
I need you now. I lost all control and
Oh my god.
you
Where the fuck did you come
now.
from?
Know how I can without need you now.
He dead as hell.
Bro, how's our teammate dead?
That motherfucker sucks.
Whoa, whoa, rather hurt than feel nothing at all. I'm alone and I need you now. And I said I couldn't call, but I'm a little drunk and I need you now. Not know how I can without just need you now. I just need you now. Did I mute? What happened? Baby, I need you now.
Bell bearing hunter, alright. Fucking dumbass. Don't even worry about him. He's obviously not helpful.
This is kind of our only chance. I can't fight the boss and get him up, though.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, he's aggroing our dumbass teammates. I will get him.
He's on you, by the way.
What the fuck?
Nope, you're good.
Alright, fuck boy. Coming for you? Oh, he ain't. Sorry.
it's always been you. Mm.
Yes.
And then I can't do. Always been you.
Ah.
Oh, I need you here, my safe haven. Rather go at it than not speak at all. And you make me feel, oh, it's dangerous.
Got him.
Oh,
Look out.
no one not to hold.
Switch directions, bitch.
Blame me for needing the reason I got a weakness. No, oh, you drive me crazy. Still, that's my
Yeah, we
baby.
just lost.
Can't get enough of you.
Fuck.
Baby, it's something that you do.
Yeah, that teammate was
Can't get enough of
pretty
you.
fucking retarded.
Yeah, dude, he's so fucking.
Baby, it's something that you
Hello?
do. Say them 10 times.
I didn't mean
You,
to. I'm sorry.
but I'm never gonna jump side. We've been on a rough
Hey, Josh,
ride.
let me know when you get back on.
What's
Gonna
wrong?
nick through long
One second,
nights,
dude.
and it's always game with a his fine. Fighting, fighting. Call my phone up.
If Jay gets back, tell him I'll be
Just
right back.
show up. But act like grown ups. I block all your calls. Start hitting my girls up. Talking about where's my baby. And that's when I soften up. Oh, no. I would rather me sleep. Rather call you out than no one call my phone. With having to hold. Not to hold. Ooh. You blame me for needing. You're the reason I got a weakness. Oh, oh, oh. You make me crazy. Still, that's my baby. Can't get enough of you. Baby, it's something that you do. Can't get enough of you. Baby, it's something that you do. Only one for me. Only one for me. Only one for me. Yeah. Only one for me. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, 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 ooh. Local boy making global noises that came to destroy. Ay. Sold out shows round the globe twice in the field in Viceroy. I do Never say no to whatever drugs, always enter the void. When it's time that I die, make sure that I'm buried. Corduroy, suicide boy. Most ignored, like the old stuff from before. Who am I for? I'm not who I thought was anymore. I'm not like you. I'm not like you. I don't want the life you live. I don't want the wife and kids. I don't want the die and miss all the things that sailed around me. I don't want the life you live. I don't want the kids. I don't want to die and miss all the things that sailed around me. I don't want the life you live. I don't want to miss the things that sailed around me. If I'm happy, stupid mother in questions. I was 7, was sad then. Running drugs up on my bike, you know I had a weapon. Drugs became my obsession. Where you said you going? Dun dun dun. Like I can. You said you going. Like I can. Like I can. He can. Like I can. Much. Like I can. Where you going? Like I can. He can. Like I can. I can. Like I can. You said you're going. Like I can. Going. Can. Like I can. Like I can. Ooh, ooh. Baby, I want you around. And baby, I want you around. Mm, done with you. Baby, I promise I'll be what you wanted. But now and here, heart took some damage. I wish I could vanish from you. 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 And baby, I want you around. Baby, I want you around. Run it back, 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 run it back. Mm, 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 ooh. And baby, I want you round. Baby, I want you round. I done with you. Baby, I promise I'll be what you wanted, but now and here, heart took some damage. I wish I could vanish from you. 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 And baby, I want you round. And baby, I want you around. Ah, missing you took me for granted. Ain't that what you wanted? Disappear.
Hello?
What up?
Who that?
I miss you, baby. You.
Was that Caleb?
Whoa.
Shit.
Missing you.
Yo,
Not back yet. Oh, yeah, there he is.
Are you getting off?
I mean, I don't have to. We can play again. My
Yeah!
girlfriend's gonna be mad at me, but she already is for no reason. So
See,
Y'all
that's
wanna
how
play
it is.
Rainbow?
But no, I'm trying to get Elden Ring.
Man, fuck you, man. I wanna play something. You ain't been on in like 47 years.
We'll
Brother. I
play.
wanna
We'll
do
play.
something.
Jet's probably gonna get off here soon, and then we could play some. I want to play that. Why don't you just get the Switch?
Cause I ain't trying to spend $40.
What if I give you 20? What if I go in half?
I don't want you to do that, dog.
Bro, just get it. If you hate it, you'll refund it. If you hate it, you'll refund it. But you probably won't hate it. I don't know. You'll be kind of ass. I know.
Me.
He wasn't bad at Elden Ring.
Oh, say what
remember
one
playing it all.
about me.
Well, yeah, he'll be pretty ass.
That note is high.
I'm
Maybe
sweeping right
I
now.
want you.
I might just have to. I'm gonna talk to Jade a little bit when she gets home, and then I think she said she has work and homework. She's gonna shower and she wants to clean. I'm sweeping right now, and I just did the litter box.
You did the litter box, bro. You have something that I don't because I told Haley I will never clean the litter box out ever.
I mean, I didn't when we all lived together because it was like I didn't plan on having a cat, and neither of them were my cats. So, but I mean, like moving in with my girlfriend is kind of like a.
Something wrong with somebody. Yeah, I've heard of some things like that, some stories like that, where there's like gangs of people. Nah. Yeah. Someone else way. Oh, too long. Good guy. The nigga that you left so bad. Times we had. Said, the nigga. No, not around. I hate that sound. Am I not in my playlist anymore? Outside for the first time in a long time. You'll be just fine. You'll be just fine. You'll be just fine. Sorry for the first time in a long time. Can't remember what it's like. More than cold on the inside.
We're going to this church up here.
Let the sun rise. Again, and you'll be just fine. You'll be
We can stop
just
here and kill shit.
Yup.
I think it's time you gotta be somewhere. 'Cause you've gone too long without a smile. You had
like that, our
enough
teammate's gone.
there.
He went up to. Actually, I don't know.
Stay for a while.
It's okay though.
Staler's bitch ass is calling me.
You should.
Hey, what up?
Come up to here. Come up to here.
No. Yeah, I saw that. It is in there. It's in the fucking top middle console, and it's unlocked. Why?
this last forever, I'll be just fine. Oh, I'll be just fine.
They should be squirting.
Time you gave your little color. I don't know, but I hear that red's in style.
Well, that was easy.
You had another
Can y'all hear me?
reason to
Yes.
stay for.
No, fuck you. I need to level up.
Alright, where's the next one?
Tears don't fall when you're right here.
Whose wolf is this?
For me, that's my fear.
You going to my pen?
Yeah, I was helping our homies get fucked up by a wolf.
Makes me nervous. I just wanna know I'm worth it.
It's a red
Cause
wolf.
every
of
time
Dragon
Yeah,
I'm
that motherfucker be
in
fucking
love, end
base game.
up with nothing, nothing
Viagra.
but these
Ow, ow, ow.
songs.
I am
Maybe
very
I'm
low.
just
Good shit, Jet.
overthinking.
Fucking tweak on him.
You're the one for me. Not saying that will fail, girl. I know that I'm scared.
Good shit. You just saved me.
That was a bleed proc too. Got his ass.
Yeah, we fucked him up. Rush State of Anchor. Meteoric Ore Blade. Skull's Hagfire. I like that. I do want a new weapon art though. This
How
seems
was
kinda
I supposed to know?
cheaper.
This is how
We need to
it's
go to this,
gonna
What's
go.
this tree? What's this tree?
Thought if I put you first,
Take
then
hold of Spectral Hawk.
it will last
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure. Last
Sure,
for
okay.
sure.
We need to go somewhere.
Let's go towards away from the storm.
Ooh, how was I
Bro,
supposed
how
to
do I
know?
fly this thing?
Hold
This
triangle.
is how it's gonna go.
Why is there
Thought that
so
if I put you
far?
first enough, we will last for sure. Last for sure.
Battle
Remember
mages,
our
we
first
cannot
kiss
fight
was
them.
in a rental car.
Storm is
Now
on
I
our
kinda
ass.
wish it was a hit and run. Crazy, I let you get this far. But I was just young and
There's a
dumb.
church right here. We get Estes.
6 years gone down the drain. I guess I'm have to blame.
On me.
I didn't know I'd be wasting my time.
Extra flash mode.
Spending my 20s
you
on you. I
Glasses.
poured my heart
It
in.
looks like you got time.
Don't get me
You got
started.
some bonfire if you need to level up.
Spend my time wondering why I spend my 20s on you.
I'm dual wielding katanas right now. This shit's
Thought
fire.
I was learning
should be.
myself. I was just learning you. Is anything black and white? When you're barely 22, hold on to you like a shirt to
Where we going next?
hang on to you, 'cause I didn't know better. I just felt like time was running out. I can tell the ship was going down. I was
You guys going
so
right here?
young and dumb. Down the drain. I guess I'm have to blame. I didn't know I'd be wasting my time, spending my 20s on you.
I'm with her, homie.
Poured my heart in. Don't get me started.
I'm wielding gray swords.
Spend my time wondering why I spend my 20s on you. Oh, I pour my heart in.
You think so?
Don't get me started. Spend my time wondering why I spend my 20s on you. Ooh, ooh,
Now where to?
ooh,
We go see if there's someone in this castle we can fight. It looks like there's a boss in there. It is becoming night.
You're as good as it gets for
Gotta get
me.
in there. Is that
Slow
another
it
church?
down. Don't wanna miss a moment.
Alright, I'm gonna go to the store. I'll be back.
Sit me down if you want.
You should buy the
Teach me, girl,
Try
I'm
and load it before you leave.
willing.
Yes. Reese,
I'll be
slide you
yours if you want. Whatever
me
you
too.
want. Got high
For
hopes,
real.
just like you. Truth be told, we both got things to lose. Can't go ghost, not like usual.
Huh?
Because I'm ready for your
feel like we're gonna
love. What would it
doing
take here to make you mine for real? I
Okay,
got it
20.
tasting now, can't keep
I put it
off
right now,
my
but we haven't
mind.
I don't.
Hey, let's go
What
to this
would
Evergirl.
it take for real
sword key.
to make
that
you
one, that one.
mine?
Shit, man.
I got a taste and now
What, playing
can't
the game?
keep off my mind. My mind. Is it obvious that I'm falling? I'm lost in it, and I need it often on my way here. And baby, no lie, I'm here to stay. No games to
Come to this
play.
Evergirl. Let's fight
Bet.
this boss.
And maybe I'm trying to
just found
say
the-
your love is good to me.
I need our teammate to come.
I'm
too.
saying it's time, you're mine, you're mine. Got high hopes, just like you. Truth be told, we both got things to lose. Can't go ghost, not like usual. Because I'm ready for your love.
Okay, we don't
What
need
would it
this bitch.
take here to make you mine for real? I got it tasting now, can't keep off my mind. I would it take for real to make you mine? I got it tasting now, can't keep off my mind. My high.
Why is he still coming at me? Good shit. Fuck him up. Fuck him up. He's getting fucked up. He's getting fucked up. Oh shit. Oh my god. Fuck him up. Fuck him up. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Oh my god. He just hit me hard as fuck.
Be for you. When me is try because it's lonely. Honesty. I told him I'm in love with you. If they're
Fuck
okay
yes.
with being number
Yeah, we
two.
fucked him up.
Fucked up.
Drifting
We
us
hit him with hand
apart.
combos, bro.
I ain't did nothing wrong, yeah.
Should I do the cloud
I'm
or 20
tempted when you're
rings?
gone,
The cloud
'cause
is
I
kinda
don't
fu-
do
is
well
not
alone.
good.
They want me more than ever now, and I'm
Attack
scared
enemies
that
die
I want them
regardless of remaining
to.
HP on rare occasions.
I'm
Let's
all in,
Okay.
but I'm
get that.
just
Bet,
a
let's
man with flaws. When the song
Sweet.
and my options come calling,
I don't know.
so
I think I should take
stop
the runes too,
it.
'cause
I'm
I don't know if those are
trying
bosses.
I don't know.
all that I can be for you.
That'd be kind of OP.
When you're not with me, it's
Totally
hard
fine.
because it's lonely. Honesty.
second
Alright, I'm
stone
at
sword
the-
I
key.
told them
We're
I'm
at the
in
Erd
love
Tree
with
thing.
you. They're okay with being number 2. Ooh. Ooh.
Let's do it.
Ooh.
It's the deer, motherfucker. Maybe
I don't
it's
think
not.
this is the boss.
I'm gonna do you wrong, but this not helping. Love through a poor connection. If I share my love, would I regret it? If you never know, it's still a question. Don't go for too long, I'm too on. Don't go too far for too long, I move on. My name, I see you calling. Often it's hard, but I'm trying to be. Then I'm just a man with flaws when the song and my options come calling. Stop it, I'm trying. Ooh, ooh, ooh,
Fuck yeah.
ooh, ooh,
Boss.
ooh,
Oh, it's 2. Oh my
ooh,
god.
ooh,
This shit again.
ooh. I might get a ticket tonight. Trying to make it to your crib. I might even lose my license. The way I'm driving, baby. Sprout up for me. Your tulips are my fate.
Oh, shit.
Me and my blessing tonight. So keep your eyes wide. I'm doing 65 in a 40, hoping that I don't get spotted. Ooh, this ain't a DUI. Just wanna take a stride through your
Shit, got close.
garden. Ooh, your
Good shit. Definitely close.
garden. Your, I need help. There it is. My ears not work, bro. I got the music on blast, bro.
Oh shit.
Repost him.
Yes. Fuck. I was so far. Fuck. Fuck. Both on me. Damn it.
Dead.
I'm fighting the other one right now. Oh my! What?
Holy fuck!
Some shit.
Now keep an eye out for that fucking attack.
Yeah, that shit was fucking insane.
She damn near killed all of us.
Yeah, he did.
That was crazy.
Bro, did you see that res play? That was kind of cold.
Nearby
Using your-
blood loss increases attack power.
That's
At
good.
low HP, create holy ground, slowly restore HP and improve defense. I'm gonna do blood loss, attack power. I don't have that cloud that's over my head.
You
I
have to
grabbed it.
See, walk for a second. See, and then at that burst, and then it will fucking start raining arrows. It does hella damage.
I did not know that. I never used that.
I got it now too, so we can really fucking get down and dirty with that shit.
There's a dragon right there. Oh no, that's
Let's kill him. Get his loot.
the dirt.
Big ass reindeer.
Whoa.
Damn, he's hard to hit. Oh, he's right in your cloud like a dumbass.
He's just getting fucked up.
For real. Fuck him up harder. Fuck it. Oh,
What?
shit.
I died?
What the fuck?
I was about to say, how the fuck did I die?
Ow! Shit fucking hurt. Oh, repose. I got a rain cloud on me. Oh, it's fucking him up. Damn it, he went out.
I thought my headset just died. But I'm still here in the game, so. I think it's about to die.
That's the move that does hella.
We need to like get under him again.
Bro. Oh
Holy-
shit! Ow, ow! I was not expecting that.
Oh my god.
I'm going blow for blow. Good shit.
Bitch! We fucked
He
him
needs
up.
to just get all three of us in his crotch.
Moonvale!
Moonville! Nigga, what?
Yeah.
Oh,
Motherfucker.
Bro, should I use the jar cannon?
Hell yeah.
Bro, I can also get improved dodging, longer iframes.
That's sick.
I don't know what to get.
I got the fucking Moonvale. It's purple too.
Yeah,
Damn, I
you
didn't
get
get
Hey, look what I got.
we need to go here. We need to go here. Go to my pen. Hurry. Whoa.
Where you at?
My pen.
Hold on. How do I see what grants armament and those?
This is the next boss. We need to fight it.
Coming. got twin blades and they fuck. Gargoyle twin
That's sick.
blades.
I don't know how we get in here. Oh my god, Gage,
What happened?
I don't know. It's this fucking spell that killed me. Don't run up to it. Gage, watch out.
Damn. Yeah, that shit does hurt. Get under the. Yeah, in here, in here, in here. We're inside Jet.
I'm coming.
There's a pot, motherfucker.
Oh no, the storm's coming. We need to go. We need to go.
We need to go.
Yeah.
Bet. Fuck out of here.
We'll go to this one right here. It's another thing.
Where the fuck are those? Where's that magic coming from? I wonder if I can level up again.
My headset's about to die. And my controller's plugged in.
Does your computer not have Bluetooth?
It does, but it sucks really bad.
Does it disconnect and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit sucks. I think you just did something here.
I don't
What
know.
is this? I really want to try out this weapon on a fucking boss, because so far it seems like it fucks.
Oh, there's a boss right here, I think. Yeah.
Yep. Coming, bro. I'm buffing us. Ow, ow, ow.
There's more of them.
Stupid ass squid.
I think we need to go down.
You finding any more?
Mm-mm. Have you?
Nope. Oh, yep. Right
Oh.
here. On me. I'm buffing us. Fuck are these bitches? On me. Another one.
Bet I'm coming. Bro, lock on.
Hell yeah. Yeah, they were pretty easy.
Where's the grace at?
Over here. On me. Time to level up, bitch.
I can't. I need like 7K
Yeah, bro.
more.
They're getting expensive.
Let's go over here. Where's my pin? On this side.
Bro, your character looks sick right now.
I don't know what it is. I think I have a debuff or something. Where's our team?
Oh shit! Summon foe chasing vengeful spirits. Fuck it. Oh, it's just.
This is
Yeah, where
another
is he?
boss over here.
Bet.
I have no clue.
Yep,
Same
boss.
one.
Well, we fucked him up once. Ah! Ow. Just got gooped on.
Yeah, they do hella damage. There's a chest down here.
Hella chest.
I don't think any of it's really good though. Yeah.
I mean, the greasing shit ain't bad, and you can get shards that give you your FP back and shit like that. I've been using it. From the shit.
I have no clue where the next one's at.
Looking for him.
Oh.
Find him.
No. Have you?
Not yet. Yep, found him. On me. Damn.
That was easy.
Fuck. Yeah, those guys suck.
Cold butchering knife.
Oh, whoa, shield. Ew, that shit sucks.
Level 10. There's our boss for the night. Then we fight the Night Lord.
Over here at the Erd Tree.
Yep.
Yup.
Hi, babe.
Buff.
How are you? I'm good. I'm playing the new Elden Ring game. Ain't that cool?
Buff.
You okay?
Kill these bats.
Yeah.
Fuck nigger.
Thank you. I swept into the litter box.
Bitch ass bat. Over here. Oh shit.
That was easy.
Oh fuck. Oh! What the fuck? Fuck him up.
Deer walking thing.
Fuck him up. You're right, you're right. Oh, that shit's fucking him up. Good shit, Jet. That's a combo. dicking them? Yep. Tree sentinels.
Deer walk.
Oh shit.
Oh, watch
shit.
out, watch out. Back up, back up.
What's he doing?
Something.
What is he doing?
I think he's broken. Oh, he was healing. Maybe?
Ain't worth shit. Oh my!
Did I hit him with the moon veil?
Something, bro. Freezing pot. Boom. Oh, he summoned his people back. That's cool. He's in my cloud right now.
Bro, he is in your shit.
Yeah, bro. Fuck him up.
Bleed proc. Oh, I should have saved that for the Night Lord. Ah, fuck it.
Ah, you good. You'll get it back by then, probably.
Well, it's...
Lightning.
Ooh, I got another walking one.
Bro, look at mine. When I dodge, I have lightning bolts.
Bro.
What the fuck? Bro, you're just walk around the
I'm
arena.
Jesus. I'm Jesus.
Bro, what the fuck? Where can I level up at? Better be able to level up in here.
Oh yeah, in here, in here. Yeah, we might win this one.
Bro, if we don't, we suck.
Dude. Level 11. I got warming stones and a stamina booster.
I've got something. Do you think it'll be the same boss?
Yeah, I think it is. It's the same because when we do the commence expedition thing, we're selecting the boss, the Night Lord we fight.
Oh, and we have to beat this one to get a new one?
Yeah.
That's sick. That's tough. So there is like progression.
Yeah.
All right, my nigga.
I need to grab a USB-C.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
Oh, shit. One ain't there.
This boss is dope. I literally can kill him by just dodging, bro. This shit's tough. Jet, just walk.
Oh my god.
Ah! Fuck him up!
I'm just walking.
For real.
Oh!
You're doing the most DPS by walking. Oh, fuck!
Holy.
Repose. Oh, never mind. Yep, repost.
Oh, he's splitting. Stick
Oh, that shit
together.
hurts.
I think we need to do damage to get him to go back.
Yep. I need help. I need help.
I'm
I
coming.
need help.
I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming.
He's back.
Fuck.
I'm kind of whooping ass right now.
Oh my god.
How'd I dodge that? Good shit. You got him right in that. Look out, look out. This motherfucker is not easy. I'm dead. Somebody.
Oh, you're dead. Fuck.
Y'all are getting good damage in.
Oh, I'm dead too.
Oh
Fuck.
shit. Please don't die.
He's dead. There's no way. Look at his health. God, you such a shitter, dude.
He is. He's
Oh my
alive
god.
though. Come on, come on. Death.
No. Oh my god.
No. Look out. Ah!
No.
Oh fuck. I don't know how I'm gonna make this happen.
He's right on your ass.
Yeah, bro. Fuck.
Oh no, dude, we were so close.
We were pretty close, dude. Fuck.
Fuck.
I'm fucking pressed.
God damn it.
Reese gets on, we're gonna be even more ass.
Dude, my Moonveil did 164.
Yeah, bro. I wish I would have had a slightly better weapon. so we can fight the other bosses.
I know.
Who's this motherfucker? Can I buy some shit from you?
All right, I'm gonna go hang out with Jade for a little bit, and I'll get back on.
How long you think?
Like 20.
Bet. While you do that, I'm gonna do some chores.
All right.
Who's talking? Huh?
just fights for this square on d5. So Svidler goes bishop to b7, very natural. Bishop d2 is a bit of a cryptic move, but if you had moved the bishop out anywhere else, it could have been a target, so bishop d2 is played. And actually now you see white's entire purpose is to attack the queen side with the move a4. Svidler drops the knight back, we have a trade, we have another trade, and we have this knight rotating over to g3 to potentially go to f5. Magnus Carlsen doesn't need an excuse to find even the slightest of imbalances in a position. It could be knight for bishop, it could be anything, right? And he does exactly that. Svidler says, nah, I'm good. I actually would like to preserve my bishop, Magnus. The knight on f5 is quite nice, but it has no target anymore. It can't attack anything on e7. And Magnus says, okay, great. c4. Idea being that, for example, if you take, I take with the bishop. But if you don't take, if you play a move like b4, then I will outflank you, right? I'm going to win control of this diagonal. Then I'm going to somehow slowly invest onto that queen side with my rook. And you have a lot of pawns that are just isolated. Like, they just can't move. And they are far more of a target than the pawns are in my position. Okay, Svidler decides to take, bishop c7, rook e1, rook e8. And we just have a very maneuvering game. Peter's trying to get into f4, pawn to g3, pawn to g6, kicking out the knight, but inviting Magnus into h6. So Peter actually invites the horses, which can be good in some cases and bad in other cases. And in the case of Magnus Carlsen, he's getting some sort of attack on Peter. But Peter here lashes out into the center. He says, all right, I'm not so fast. I'm not going to just get checkmated. Takes. Magnus drops the knight back, trying to fight for the dark squares. He wants bishop f6. He wants queen h6. He has bad intentions. For example, if bishop takes bishop, there is bishop h6 check, and only then I will take, and I'm going to try to land the knight on f6. All right? There are also variations where, for example, you can land a knockout like this, and this is just game over, because if king here or king there, you take the knight and you're mating and the queen is hanging, and my arrow drawing skills are not very good. But instead of that, Peter jumps into f3 to try to kick the knight out. We have that same infiltration. The king is barely surviving on f8. And here Magnus backs up because he doesn't want his bishop captured. Queen h3, f3. And Peter actually says, bro, who do you think you're attacking? And he plays knight f4, and you actually just cannot take this knight at all. Well, I mean, you actually probably should play queen f2, which prevents queen g2 mate. But even there's the beautiful punch. Queen takes bishop, the queen sacrifice with knight to h3, which attacks both, and it's still Peter who is actually playing for advantage. But Magnus decides to take, giving up the bishop, and now his knight is hanging, takes on f7, and Peter takes bishop takes f3. Now, again, on the surface, looks like that's just a blunder, but if you take that, then, well, you lose your rook, so you can't do that. So we have a position here on move 34 where Peter Svidler is actually the one hunting down Magnus Carlsen. And I actually remember where I was when this game was being played. I was on the train, and I was taking the train to Brooklyn to hang out with my good friend and play some handball. And we were messaging each other, you know? We were like, oh my god, Magnus is gonna lose, what the hell? You know, we're like texting each other. I'm on the train, it's a really long commute, watching some chess. And like Peter is just chipping away, and now we have an endgame, and Peter Svidler's just winning. I mean, Peter Svidler has the bishop pair, and he's a pawn up in an endgame. And remember, on move 40, this is move 37, on move 40, the players are gaining their extra time. So finally we hit move 40, and they get their extra time, but it doesn't really matter, because Magnus, even though, for example, he has a fork, he's not actually winning any material. Actually, the king is going to be forking his bishops. So, king f2, f3, h3, and the bishops are just swarming, and the problem is that Magnus's knight, Peter invited it in a long time ago, and that knight is getting stuck. And now Peter activates his two pawns. You'll notice that his bishops coordinate beautifully, and the advantage is really the pawns. And so he just pushes down the pawns. It does not matter that his bishop can be taken, because g3, now the king must come back, but it is the bishop that is winning the fight on the dark squares. And even though Magnus has two pieces, they're not doing anything. This bishop absolutely dominates the knight. The knight has no entrance to the position, can't come back. And in this position, Peter Svidler played the move bishop to h2. You would say, well, why can't he play bishop to e3? He can, but there's no reason to give your opponent two pieces for a queen. Instead, Peter just plays this, secures the promotion, and Magnus Carlsen resigns. And you're going to say, wait a minute, Levy, why would you start the video with this? How did Magnus Carlsen win the candidates by losing? Well, on the neighboring board, Vladimir Kramnik, actually, with the black pieces, versus Vasily Ivanchuk, began the game with a Peer's defense. d6, d4, knight f6, and the Peer's defense involves g6, and it's a very risky opening, especially at the highest level. You invite a big attack on yourself. And what was happening during the game is that Magnus was very much equal, right? Throughout that game that we just saw, it was an equal middle game. So Kramnik on the neighboring board decided to go all out. He just went all out. And it's crazy because he didn't have to. Had he kept the balance in his game for a while, he could have seen that Magnus is trending in the wrong direction and just made the draw. But Kramnik lost. Two top guys lost in the final round because of the tension and everything. And it was Magnus Carlsen who won and secured a qualification spot. So it was insanely tense. But now Magnus Carlsen will move on to challenge for the World Championship. Now, as you all know, chess is full of drama. And in securing a spot for the 2013 World Chess Championship match, there's supposed to be a bidding process. Now, as the story goes, the Indian Chess Federation did what they had to do. They put up the money for the prize fund, and ultimately FIDE said the match will be held in Chennai, India. And there was some massive protest. It was like, well, you didn't go through the whole process. And apparently Paris wanted to kind of be the neutral location, right? And the Carlsen camp even complained. They were like, hey, we're going to Chennai. It's home territory for Anand. I mean, this is not really the way it's supposed to go. But like I said, drama aside, one more small point that was less dramatic was the fact that one of the team members of Anand, Peter Heine Nielsen, at least former team members, because all these guys have a team of players that help them train and prepare, moved camps. So actually, Peter Heine Nielsen worked for the Carlsen camp, even though he formerly had always worked with Anand. And obviously, when he signed the contract with Carlsen, it was, contractual not to leak any of the preparation. But at the end of the day, no one knows what happens behind closed doors. But it's interesting that you had a team member literally shift, which happens obviously in many sports, and you can tell your new team, the former team's playbook. But I'm just going to hope for the best and assume that that is something that did not happen. But we're in Chennai. It's the later part of 2013. First, I'm going to show you this clip of the press conference before the match begins.
Sandipan, Wojtaszek, and Peter Leko. So these are my 4 seconds. I worked as I always did, which is a couple of months of training, and I think I'm well prepared, but we'll see how it goes. But I feel ready to play, and I feel in a good mode.
Well, I appreciate Mr. Anand's openness about his team, and alas, I'm not going to return the favor.
So what you saw there was the briefing or the opening press conference of the 2013 World Championship match. And by the way, at that time, Magnus is 22 years old, Anand is 43 years old. So it's kind of funny. It's really a battle of multiple generational gaps, right? Magnus very much belongs to the new age of growing up in the era of the computers in chess. But as always, chess press conferences are hilarious. And the first question out the gate is, who's your team? Which is really not something that they reveal. Anand goes ahead and just reveals everybody because he's basically played many world championships with the same team. Carlsen kind of cracks up and drinks water. I don't know what the heck that's about. And then says he's not going to reveal his team. But anyway, I'm going to show you a few of the most important games of the match. Followed by, as always, funny clips of interviews because these press conferences are hilarious, and then we will reconvene at the end and talk a little bit about Magnus Carlsen's World Championship reign. Here we go. So we're starting in game number 5. The first 4 games were drawn, and the first 2 games that Magnus Carlsen had the white pieces, he began with knight f3, which is a move that he just doesn't really play. Like, all these guys know all the openings, but Magnus doesn't play that move. So he goes for c4, seeing what Vishy's gonna do, and rather than taking the center, which is obviously one of the most respected moves, Vishy plays e6 d5, which is also completely fine, and we have now what's known as a transposition back to a Queen's Gambit decline. Magnus goes knight c3, and here it's considered slightly inaccurate by black to play knight f6 because this Queen's Gambit declined actually allows white to take and enter something that's known as the exchange variation, which is considered a little bit inaccurate, and white can get an advantage. And instead, Vishy plays c6, assuming that Magnus will just develop, and now we will have something known as the semi-Slav defense, something that Vishy has played many, many times. But Magnus takes advantage of the fact that knight c3 has been played, not knight f3. And now these knights have not yet been developed, and that allows Magnus the moment to put a pawn in the center of the board. And this is known as the Marshall variation. And essentially after takes, bishop to b4 check, white normally plays bishop to d2. And bishop to d2 allows queen takes pawn, because now your queen's not protected, right? Your pawn's not protected by your queen, and the knight is hanging, even though your bishop's hanging. This is known as the Marshall Gambit. This is actually one of a few different types of Marshall Gambits in chess. I play this with white, and I've also played this with black. But Magnus plays, instead of bishop d2, knight drop back to c3. And what's funny is that, again, this is 2013, my modern day understanding of this position is here, according to computers, e5 gambiting this pawn fully equalizes this position for black. But back then, Vishy played c5, which I believe is still to this day the most popular move, but e5 is completely fine. So it's just interesting how chess develops, because right now I'll tell you, like, I think e5 is completely fine there for black, but that's how chess works. Magnus plays a3, inviting the capture of the knight. Vishy says no thank you. Knight f3, knight f6, and now Magnus just develops his pieces like natural. We have knight c6 from black, and Magnus plays a strange move. He plays queen d3, very clearly intending to castle queenside. I mean, otherwise you just wouldn't block your bishop. Like, you can play bishop to e2, for example, but he plays queen d3, preparing to castle long, stopping knight to e4, cd4, knight d4, and so Vishy says, okay, I can't go down the middle, I'll go to the right, no problem, let me get your bishop. Magnus says, I don't really care about my bishop, I care about development. And now here, you have to play f takes e3, because if you play queen e3, trying to preserve your pawn structure, it's very important in chess that you don't just focus on your own plans. Black here has a move, bishop to b6, paralyzing your knight by virtue of a pin, and even though you have a discovered attack on the queen looming, you're going to lose your queen first, and it will be with check, so that's not good. So Magnus takes with the pawn. Anand brings back his bishop, saying it doesn't serve a purpose there anymore. Now we have knight takes c6, bc6, takes, and the following position. And here, white has a slight advantage. You say, how does that make sense? Material is completely equal, black has the bishop pair, and if you're going to really try to tell me that this pawn is a weakness, this pawn is a weakness, yes, it is a weakness. However, all games of chess are evaluated on a criteria of multiple points, and one of those points is obviously material, that's equal, but white has better prospects and more active pieces, and white has more space, and that's why white is better here. And Magnus plays bishop e2 and bishop f3, lining up the bishop on the diagonal, targeting one of those weaknesses. And you'll notice that white has better prospects. Because black is a move or two behind forever in getting settled, white is able to play moves like knight c5, knight g5, knight d6, utilizing that lead in development, coordinating the pieces on certain squares. Vishy is going to be stuck defending. Now we have Magnus playing c5, forcing the bishop back, but actually not really, because Vishy goes for a counterattack. So if Vishy played bishop c7, then Magnus would plant the knight, he would play b4, he would double up the rooks, and he would very slowly chip away at the terrible lack of space that black faces. Vishy tries to solve his problems tactically, f5. And now we have pawn takes bishop, pawn takes knight, b7, which attacks the rook and forces it to move, and the following transformation. And this endgame is always going to be a little bit better for white, because black has split pawns. Black has these 3 split pawns. Magnus has kind of split pawns of 2, which is better, and 1 weakness, whereas black can potentially have 3 isolated weaknesses. And as this game progresses, Magnus starts to apply pressure. Now, Magnus might be 22 years old at the time of this match, but he's got that old man style. And what I mean by that is, he plays the long game. He plays the long game. He's got that grind in him. He's not looking for tactical flair, and he's not looking for crazy knockout punches. He conserves his energy, and he does it really well, and he fights the entire game, right? So you would think that maybe the young guy, more athletic. No, in chess it's very different. You actually use that energy that you might have as the younger player for longer periods of time. And so as the game progresses, Vishy tries to create a little bit of counterplay. Magnus, meanwhile, centralizes his rooks, brings back his bishop, and infiltrates. And Anand continues to chip away on this side of the board. Magnus advances up the middle. And now Magnus finds a moment to bring his king into the game. King to d2. Rook b5 attacks the pawn. b3, very simple. One thing that Magnus doesn't like to do is he doesn't like to push pawns unnecessarily. You'll notice that he's trying to find the right coordination for his pieces without making many pawn moves. In fact, as I speed things up a little bit, you see Vishy trying to get active and solve things with the pawns, and really, like, Vishy pushes every pawn. Vishy's trying to get everybody involved. And Magnus is very methodically not touching a single pawn. It's Vishy who's pushing. Like, Vishy has, notice Vishy has pushed every single pawn. It's interesting, right? Magnus kind of hanging back like, yo, come and get me. Come and get me with your pawns, because when you overextend, what's going to happen when we transform the position, as all the pawns come off the board, you push your pawns in a little bit too far. And they're a bit more delicate now, and I haven't touched my pawns. You're going to have to come deep into the territory to get my pawns. And now finally Magnus pushes a pawn, but it's a check. And he brings in the bishop. And he brings the bishop in to wrap around. Right, so Anand plays rook c1, king b2, and goes for the pawn on g2. But we have check, king c6, and now a super important move. Not yet taking the bishop, but checking. And the king has a very uncomfortable decision. Does it come forward, or does it go back? It goes back. He tries to stop this pawn. Had he gone forward, I would have taken the bishop and tried to promote my e-pawn. Now Magnus takes. We have takes, and takes. And the pawns get hunted down. And Vishy's left with one pawn. And now we have a rook endgame up 2 pawns. King e6, a4. And because Magnus waited a very long time to push his pawns, they are flank pawns. They are a and h, which is a nightmare to defend. King e5, a5. King e5, a5. King d6. Magnus cuts the king off on the 7th rank. Pushes. Check. King c3. And finally, the final move of the game, the one pawn. Magnus went 58 moves without moving this pawn. This is what I'm telling you. He only moves the pawn now, pawn to h4, and Vishy Anand resigns. Isn't that crazy? Took him 58 moves to move the pawn, but it was the final move of the game. And Magnus Carlsen has his first win over Viswanathan Anand, and it's 3-2. Now, we move to game number 6. I will take you immediately to the next game. Vishy's got to strike back. Vishy's down 3-2, but Vishy has been down in World Championship matches before. He lost to Gelfand. He lost to Topalov. He's lost before. So now Vishy's got to fight back. He's got the white pieces, plays e4. Magnus Carlsen again employs the Berlin defense of the Ruy Lopez. In the last game, we saw Morphy's defense with a6. This is kind of the classical main line. And Vishy plays something known as the anti-Berlin. He plays d3. We're not going into a Berlin endgame. Magnus plays bishop c5. Now, nowadays, in these positions, people are taking. They are transforming the position, damaging black structure, and engaging in a 2 bishops versus 1 bishops struggle. But back then, Vishy instead opts for a maneuvering game versus Magnus. He brings back the bishop around to b3. Magnus plays very solid d6. You'll notice in Ruy Lopez positions, generally this bishop is back here. But in this case, it's not. Bishop g5, bishop e6. Maneuvers. And finally, we have our first trade of the game. Bishop takes bishop. And you can take this with a knight. You can take this with the queen. But instead, we have a b3. Doubling your own pawns, but active rook on the a5, right? Putting some pressure on the a6 pawn. Vishy drops the knight back. Common idea to rotate the knight to d7 in Ruy Lopez positions. And then expand later with the c and the d pawns. Now, this is one of the reasons I never recommend Ruy Lopez to beginners or intermediate players. Far too much maneuvering, no clear plan of action, 8 pawns per side, very closed. I mean, it's too strategic. You need more direct plans. Like, look at this. Look at the last 2 moves by white. Vishy plays h3. We have knight d7, knight h2, and queen e7. Okay? Knight h2 to pressure this and go knight g4. I have this feeling that I said Vishy went knight b8, knight d7. If I did, I'm sorry. If I didn't, then my brain is incorrectly remembering things during the time of recording. Knight f1. Vishy is just going all the way to this side to try to expand on this side, on this side of the board. I just drew a lot of arrows, only a few of those were accurate. Bishop b6, knight e3, queen e6, and now Vishy takes a little bit of queenside space with b4. a5, takes, and knight g4. Looks like Vishy's got a very nice position. But it's actually funny, because now we have a transformation. He takes on f6, takes, and takes. And we're going to get bishop versus knight. Or we're going to get no bishop and no knight. And we're just going to have queens and rooks. Heavy piece endgame. Heavy piece not insulting the piece's weight. They are called the heavy pieces. At this point, what's going to matter is the pawn structure and the activity of your pieces and the weaknesses in the position. Magnus plays queen e7 to get out of the way. Rook f1 chases down the queen, but at the same time takes control of the file, and now Magnus takes queenside space with c5. Now, Of course, you look at this, you go, just agree to a draw. Bozos, why are you playing? You got queen rooks. I mean, it's just a draw. Okay, but we have to play. King h2, c4. Magnus is instigating. He wants Vishy to take because this one pawn does something called fixing. Fixing the pawns, not letting them move. And you have doubled isolated e-pawns, which just looks ugly and gross. Kind of like me. So we have d4, but he still has a fixed structure, and if Magnus ever takes, then this is going to be problematic. But Magnus doesn't take. He trades and he plays queen b7, lining up on e4, threatening to take. Forcing Vishy to make a decision. Vishy chooses rook to d1, because some short while later we have ed4, and the only way to protect this pawn, ladies and gentlemen, is to play rook d4. And this is the thing that Magnus Carlsen is so good at. He's so good at making you do things, and making you commit. Because now Vishy's got doubled isolated e-pawns. Yes, this pawn is a bit of a target, but you are the one with the targets, right? You have to back up. And Magnus is doing something that a friend of mine, International Master Alex Ostrovsky, one of the best chess teachers, kind of a plug for him. He calls this stewing, like stirring the pot. He's just stewing him, just improving his position ever so slightly, just slowly improving, letting the opponent self-destruct. Let's also not forget that it's actually up until move 40. They get the extra time on move 40. And again, Vishy can play queen f4, queen f3, queen f4, queen f3 forever, but Vishy gets stewed and plays queen g3, allowing Magnus to take. And now we have a little bit more of a transformation. And the players have traded down into this rook endgame. Vishy plays rook d5. Magnus plays rook b7. So, sometimes you have to do the ugly move, the defensive move, but Magnus is up a pawn. G and H versus FGH. That is his extra pawn advantage. Now, Magnus plays f6. He plays king f7. He's trying to bring the king and slowly expand the pawns. Vishy plays active defense by sacrificing the h pawn. So now Vishy's down 2 pawns. But in doing so, he has split the pawns. And that's really bad. That's not good at all. And so what Magnus has to do now is decide which of those pawns he wants to hang on to make progress. Magnus chooses to slowly advance, but part ways with the b pawn. That's pawn number 1. Vishy, go ahead and take it. I'm going to give you a check. Very important. We saw that in the last game. Magnus gives the check to force the king back. That ever so slight damaging of the king's positioning. Now we can advance with the king. Vishy plays rook b8, h4, check, hide behind the pawn. Anticipate the opponent's play. Magnus hides behind the pawn, and now plays rook f4, defending his only weakness, and rook g4, trying to kick the king out further, and maybe potentially push your f-pawn. That's exactly what we have. Now the king is reactivated, and slides in front of that pawn. See how good Magnus is? He's there. Oh, no, now he's gone. Oh, he's there. Oh. He just switches it around, like, no problem. Rook c8, and now Magnus is ready to part ways with that pawn too. Rook takes c4. We have gone from Magnus being 2 pawns up to Magnus being equal in material. Now he plays f4 to cut the king off. Rook goes to a4. And Magnus Carlsen plays h3. And Magnus Carlsen has gone from up 2 pawns to down 1 pawn. He sacrificed 3 pawns. But in doing so, he has coordinated the only important pieces that he needs. That's all he needs. He needs to damage the structure and advance with the f-pawn. That's it. King's position shut down. Now, fun fact. In this position, right here, Vishy had to play 1 move and 1 move only. And that move was deemed by experts to be b4. Just stop it with the rook. You have to push the pawn because Magnus is coming down the board. And I will show you why this counterplay was so important, okay? Instead, he played rook to a4. Magnus sacrificed and then brought back the rook. The winning idea to guard your weakness, patrol the 6th rank, and escort the pawn. That's the whole point, and he does exactly that. His king hides, Vishy tries to push, but he's just not fast enough. The king runs away from the checks. We have rook a8 looking to come around and check and win the queen, and rook g1. And here, Vishy Anand resigned again, losing back-to-back games and going down 2. But, if he had played b4, what would have happened all the same. But now he has the pawn as the counterplay. If pawn comes to f3, Vishy would go wrap around from the back, rook to c7. And for example, there is something like rook g2 check, but there is also rook f6. If you play rook f6 looking to escort like this, I can play rook e7 check, and I will check you until the end of time. If you go that way, then I will play king to g1 and I will get in front of the pawn. But if you hide in front of your pawn, that's okay, great. You can't push your pawn anymore. Now I'm in time with the counterplay. If you come in rook g2, like this, and this is kind of the main source of play here. I give a check. Let's say you go king d2. I go behind the pawn, f2. But I'm just in time with pawn to b6. I'm just in time with my counterplay. And what will happen is that I will sacrifice the rook for the pawn, and by then I will make a new queen. Just in time. Okay? But in the game we got rook a4. In the game we got rook a4. Now check this out. Rook a4, h3, gh3, rook g6. Now, what if here after c4, f3, it was Vishy doing the exact same thing, rook a7, to try to do the wraparound defense and push this pawn? That one square of tempo changes everything. Rook to g2, king h1, rook e2, the same winning idea to try to bring the king, right? Same idea I just showed you. Rook e7, king f2, rook f7, all this. But now there's check here and king e2, and you're not fast enough. c5. In the other position, the pawn's on c6. Right, that's the difference. In the other position, the pawn's already made it. So you're just not quick enough. And that's what made the difference in this game. And Magnus Carlsen, for a second game in a row, takes it beyond 50 moves, beyond 4 or 5 hours of play, and outplays Vishy Anand in a rook and etc. Rook and piece endgame. And now he has a 4-2 lead. And now I'm going to show you a clip, because the way chess works is after the matches are done, both players sit for the press conference, win, lose, or draw. Chess is a very raw, emotional, mental, draining experience. How many of you have thrown something or gotten angry after a loss? Imagine having to sit in front of a room of journalists, many of whom are potentially amateurs of chess, asking you silly questions. Well, here's what happened.
Please. Well, I'm still wondering if Mr. Anand could elaborate what he means by doing your best again. Obviously, I've been doing your...
Doing your best means doing your best. I don't know why you don't understand English.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much for all comments. Thank you for comment for the press conference.
So in case you're confused what happened there, obviously they already had some press conference, already talked about the game a little bit, and clearly a journalist from earlier in the press conference had asked Vishy something, and Vishy must have answered something along the lines of, I'm trying my best. And the guy decides to follow up on that and say, what do you mean by trying your best? And Vishy's like, what the hell do you think I mean? I mean, clearly from a place of frustration, having just lost back-to-back games in the World Championship match, wanting to go and rest and recover and figure out a game plan. Chess, I can make a compilation of absurd questions that these players get asked at these press conferences, but instead we will move on to game number 9. After winning those 2 games, the players made 2 draws, and now Magnus Carlsen has a 5-3 lead. And remember, this is a 12-game match. Okay, so it's the first person to get 6.5 points. Vishy plays d4, and Magnus responds with knight f6, c4, e6, knight to c3, bishop to b4. A Nimzo-Indian, the whole point being that you are trying to prevent white from easily expanding with the move e4, pinning the knight to the king. White has a lot of ways to play this position. Queen c2 and e3 are considered the 2 main lines, but Vishy plays f3. This is known as the same-ish variation, intending to play e4 and support it with a pawn. Magnus strikes back with d5. There are ways to play c5, d5, I believe even knight c6 is some sort of move. But d5, a3, and now he trades and plays c5. Just kind of occupying the center, offering this free pawn for capture to triple isolate your pawn. So of course Vishy does not do that. Instead, Vishy takes on d5 and plays e3. This is one of the modern ways to play this position. Black essentially shuts down White's bishops and says your bishops are never getting out. You're going to have to spend the majority of the game either preparing the move e4 or ignoring that move altogether. And actually, well, you will notice Vishy does exactly of ignoring. He plays g4, which, again, to the untrained eye, this looks borderline idiotic. I mean, it looks like Vishy just decided to have some alcohol and play like this. But no, this is very much a real thing. Black doesn't really have a lot of targets. Like, Black's position looks good, but because Black froze their pawn structure, Black cannot really create many threats at all. They can try to get their knight into b3, but really it's White who is expanding, and so Vishy expands on this side and castles. Magnus drops that knight into b3, it's everything that I said would happen, and tries to take some queenside space, right? Playing on the side of the board where he has some clear advantages. Vishy plays knight g3, Magnus continues to expand on that side. Vishy says, you know what, you can have all that side, I don't care. g5. I'm coming to destroy you and take your soul, whippersnapper! I'm not gonna lose to no 22-year-old. All right? Knight e8, e4. Let's go. Let's go. e4. Now, Magnus here nerfs Vishy's position a little bit. He takes the bishop because you need this bishop to support the expansion of the pawns. And while that bishop has not moved yet, Magnus says, I don't want you to have more firepower for your attack. So knight takes. Now he plays a funny move. He plays rook a6, a lateral patrolling of the 6th rank. Pawn to e5, expanding and taking space. Magnus plays knight c7, looking to attack on the queen side. Vishy looks to attack on the king side. Clearly, someone's not going to emerge alive. I mean, in a position like this, very rarely will someone emerge safely, right? b4. Now, Vishy has an option. He can ignore this pawn and just trudge on forward, or he can take once and trudge on forward, or he can take twice. He thinks for a while, plays a takes b4. Magnus takes back, and again, there is a trade available. Vishy can ignore the trade and just go this way and say, you know, Magnus, have it all. I'm going in. But a lot of decisions to be made. Vishy spends a while, ends up taking the rook, and plays this move f5. Now, you would say, well, why wouldn't he take this? Then his center is very unstable. And then Magnus would be able to create counterplay, not just on the queen side, but on the center, and Vishy's attack will slow down. So instead, he does this, and you would say, well, then his center is unstable all the same. Yeah, but now he's arrived. You see, the game of chess comes down to a tempo, one move very often, as you've seen from those endgames, and Vishy would just ignore the pawn on c3 and just go straight for the kill. So Vishy allows the center to be shut down, but allows Magnus to put this pawn on b3. Now he plays queen f4. Magnus brings back the knight. It's important to defend the potential checkmate square here, so you'll notice that that pawn ends up, that knight ends up on e8, protecting the checkmate square. Magnus plays g6. When you play a move like g6, you're basically stating to your opponent that they have a red carpet to come and checkmate you, right? But you are going to meet the potential queen infiltration with knight to e8. I mean, it looks like Magnus is just on the verge of death. Just truly on the verge of death. Like, Vishy is just going to play this, and mate, and it's over. But Magnus had calculated that he was just in time with this move. Because rook to f4, b1 queen. If the bishop blocks, because of course you're not going to block with the rook. If you block with the rook, I'm going to sack my new queen. And this happened, by the way. There is a promotion. Magnus Carlsen is up a queen. If bishop f1, then Magnus has one move and one move only. You can try to find that move. You can try to find this defensive idea. If you'd like, feel free to pause here. I will take a quick sip of my water. That idea, ladies and gentlemen, is the move queen to d1. And the idea is to play queen h5, rook h4, and sacrifice the queen. And this looks completely ludicrous, because after takes, I mean, it just looks like it's mate. But it's not, because there is bishop to f5. And the only two squares on which you can get mated are covered. Now, the computer still evaluates this as equal. White can throw in both pawns, and there's some draw in the future, but Vishy is obviously trying to win, and it's late in the match, so he needs to win. But Vishy played knight to f1 instead of bishop to f1. And this move, he said in the press conference after, was designed because after queen d1, there is rook h4, queen h5, the same idea, take, it looks like that's it. The white has no more attack, but knight to e3. And there is no way to prevent white from taking and getting in this knight. For example, if you play bishop to e6, I will take with the bishop instead. And if you take, I'm not going this way, I'm going that way. And you're dead. You're dead. I'm infiltrating. You're dead. You cannot stop my attack anymore. So Vishy saw that and played knight to f1, but he forgot that it's not about this anymore. It's about this move. Queen e1. And when you land the rook, I'm just going to take it. I'm just going to take it, and you don't have an attack anymore. And I'm coming with my queen to get all my rent money. And after queen e1, he resigned. The position is completely lost. Bishop f1 would have still led to a potential victory and maybe a draw. But it was knight f1 tragically, and queen e1 played, and Magnus Carlsen took a 3-game lead with round 10, 11, and 12 to go. Now, before we talk about the kind of conclusion to the match, we'll just quickly show you the press conference after round number 9.
But actually, you spent also a lot of time after this b3 move. Did you try really to calculate all these complications, all these variations till the end somehow, or was it possible?
No, I was thinking what to eat tonight.
So in case you missed that, the press conference host after Vishy just was explaining things for minutes and minutes and minutes, asks him when he spent a lot of time on one of the moves, was he calculating all those lines? You know, how can he explain calculating all those lines? And Vishy's like, no, I was thinking about what to eat for dinner tonight. And actually, that's Anastasia Karlovic. She's a very, very good press conference host. But I think in that moment, like, what are you supposed to ask the guy, right? And that's one of the things about these press conferences, is they're so difficult. And oftentimes, it's really difficult to interview somebody who's losing because you're down 3 games. I mean, that's it. It's rounds 10, 11, 12. You're down 6-3. It's really hard to find a question. And so in trying to find a question, she tried to ask him, you know, something, and it wasn't a great question. But the next game of the match ended in a draw. It was a hard-fought draw, and Magnus... Ladies and gentlemen, if you're...
Well, it's nearly time to get today's Grand Prix underway. We've got a number...
so far. P16, P16.